Welcome to the Killer Boobies podcast, Unraveling Breast Implant Illness. Here's your hosts, Wendy Bunnell, Leslie Smoot, and Brandy Vega.
Hi, I am so excited to be with you today, and our amazing guest is Wendy Bunnell, and we are talking about her 1-year anniversary from Explant. Wendy, thanks for being here.
Absolutely. It's so great to be on the other side and not being the interviewer, but the interviewee. And Brandy, we're so excited that you are the moderator today. So this is fantastic.
Well, it's fun, and I owe you a huge debt of gratitude because I had never heard about breast implant illness until you went public with it. And you were the first one who introduced me to this world and what my potential problems could be. And I followed in your footsteps 6 months later. But we want to talk about your journey right now and kind of where it all started, a little recap for people who are saying, okay, what's Wendy's story?
Yeah, absolutely. So, having vision that's a little clearer on the other side as my health crisis has now taken a drastic shift in the right direction to my body truly becoming whole and in harmony again. I look back and I go, okay, I had symptoms for a really long time, but I didn't notice them because I'm getting older. Oh, I'm stressed out. Oh, I've got a lot on my plate. I just am doing too many things. And there was just so many excuses. But my body finally really started screaming about 2018, fall of 2018. My first couple of symptoms were ringing in my ears, tinnitus or tinnitus, however you want to pronounce that. And then the next thing was acute anxiety. I mean, my body was just like I was a walking time bomb. And from that point forward, it was just one symptom after another symptom after another symptom. And I'll just kind of describe from head to toe in less than 30 seconds so that we don't spend too much time on it. But it went from my head to my toes. So we're talking vertigo and the tinnitus and brain fog to the point where I could barely concentrate. I could barely hold a thought or sometimes even speak very coherently. Sometimes the words wouldn't even be formed correctly. Hashimoto's was what was diagnosed. I don't know if I really ever had that, but that was diagnosed. But my thyroid was impacted. Mm-hmm. Fibromyalgia, chronic pain in my back and my neck. Severe gut issues. That was the one thing that has probably taken the longest to start to heal is I had SIBO, which is small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. Very, very painful. You're not really supposed to have bacteria in that sterile environment, and it's incredibly painful. A huge candida overgrowth. My gut was just on fire all the time. I had very, very much food sensitivities. I got to the point where I could barely eat anything except for just some lean protein, some vegetables, not all vegetables, some fruit, not all fruit, definitely no sugar, definitely no supplements even, where they would just completely aggravate my system and put my system on high alert. I was a walking time bomb. I mean, I had chronic UTIs also.
It's so bizarre, Wendy. It's so crazy because when you go through and list all these symptoms, not once was it, my boobs hurt, my chest hurt. It's like this. And so when people are going through this, putting that connection between these and everything else that's going on doesn't even cross your mind.
Yeah.
And then there's the whole thing is it genetics? Is it hereditary? Is it the environment? Do I have something else? And most women just don't know, because I looked at it and I thought, God, I'm having brain fog. I'm having hair loss. My eyes hurt. They're dry. They're blurry. My skin's looking bad. All these little things. But I'm thinking, well, my mom has fibromyalgia. She has degenerative bone disease. She's got psoriatic arthritis. And I'm like, I'm just doomed to face her future.
Yeah.
But when you compound it, now whether we're doomed with some genetics is one thing, but when you compound it with the implants and everything that it triggers and causes, it just compounds it that much more. So I know for you, it was a lot more issues than I had, but how has that improved over a year?
Oh, dramatically. And one of the things I want to say about my symptoms was you really get to this place of feeling like a hypochondriac and a complete burden on your family. It doesn't make sense to them either. And you go to doctor after doctor after doctor that scratches their head and goes, well, I don't know. I can give you a pill for fibromyalgia. I can give you a pill for your thyroid. I can give you a pill for your UTI and get you antibiotics. I can do all of these things. But then things started to happen with organ, like my appendix went out and I was losing a tremendous amount of weight. And I believe in listening to your gut. And my gut said, you either need to figure this out or you're going to die. And I knew it in my heart. I knew that I was at the end of this rope. It was incredibly scary, challenging, all of those things. And again, I felt like I was a burden. And here is someone for the last decade that has taught and learned how to co-create, right? Taught and learned how to manifest and live the life of my dreams. And all of these things are happening to me. And I mean, I am going to nutritionists, I'm going to kinesthetic doctors, functional doctors, acupuncturists. I'm a doer. I'm like, okay, I am not going to lay back and say, this is my life for the next 50 years, or this is my life for the next 6 months. I'm not doing that. I believe that we get to create the life that we want. And so here I am going, I don't accept that this is my fate. I don't accept it. So therefore, there is a way to create good health again. I just am not asking the right questions or going to the right people or doing the right thing. I had changed my diet. I had changed my how I was showing up in the world, less hustle, less frenzy. I was meditating. I was, slowing down. I was doing all the things the doctors told me. Have less stress. All of those things were in play, and nothing ever worked. Well, I'm sure they were working, but just the underlying problem was there.
Well, I think the problem is you're basically finding temporary solutions for long-term internal problems. You're putting a Band-Aid on something that just can't be Band-Aid. While it might help in the short term, you're still suffering all those things. And I do want to tell you from heart to heart, like how thankful I am for brave women like you and Leslie and others who have spoke out on this, because I didn't have to get to that point. And I'm really thankful for that. I'm thankful that, I remember you telling us some of the story and you were crying and you just said, I was dying. I literally thought I was dying. Mm-hmm. And now it's nice to see you again. I've been tracking you. I've been following you. We've been friends for several years. To see you living again. Doesn't mean that there's not been hard days, right?
I'm getting so emotional because this is what I prayed for. This is what I yearned for all those days that I knew I was dying. And I prayed and I pled that I would be able to live again and have a healthy existence and be able to show up at my highest and best. And Brandy, I'm there. All of those prayers have been answered. And I'm so incredibly grateful. And I'm sorry I'm getting so emotional. But it is so incredible that I'm there, because that's literally what changed. I finally got to a place of surrendering and saying, okay, I know I'm dying, but I don't believe that my journey is over. I believe that there's other things that I'm supposed to do. So if there is something going on, please tell me what is going on. And this is the right question that I finally said. I believe that there's something inside of me that is making me sick. Maybe it's a tumor, maybe it's cancer. Those were the two things that I was thinking. There's a tumor, there's cancer, something that they can't diagnose. But I plead with you to show me the way. Within 3 days, I had 4 people that I respected that don't usually give me their advice that, and said, have you considered your breast implants? And that was the moment of the light bulb turning on and going, yes, that's it. That's it. This is my answer. And of course, 12 days later, I mean, who has this happen 12 days later where I find the perfect surgeon and that has an opening with a consultation for one thing, and then guides me through through the right protocol to having them explanted on October 9th of 2019. And here I am, we're on now October 1st, 2020. And here I am saying, I have absolutely reclaimed my health. I am back to being at my highest and best as of today. And I just can't I can't express my gratitude enough for that answer.
Wendy, can you say 100% without a shadow of a doubt, you know that it was your implants that were making you sick?
100%. 100%. Now, were there extenuating circumstances too? Absolutely. My lifestyle had to change somewhat. My diet needed to change. But you know what was such a great opportunity? I believe everything happens for you, not to you. I'm absolutely grateful for the opportunity that I had to go through this, because I had always wanted to be one of those people that didn't emotionally eat, that ate to feed my body health and vitality, and that I didn't crave the sugar and all of that. Well, guess what? I got that opportunity because everything made me sick during 2019. And so now I eat whole foods and I have no cravings, and I don't emotionally eat, and I don't drink all the soda pop that I used to drink, and I don't eat processed foods. So what an incredible opportunity for me to do things that are really for my body.
Yeah, but you have such a great attitude. The rest of us are like, okay. I mean, I have some symptoms. I think there's different levels, right? We have some people who are on their deathbed, and then some that go, this could maybe be my implants. Deciding to get them removed is such a big deal, emotionally, physically, spiritually. You just go, okay, one, there's the fear that I'm going to get these removed and maybe nothing's going to change, or maybe only a few things are going to change, or I'm going to get these removed and now I'm going to look deformed, and now I'm going to be embarrassed, or where do I come up with the money? Like, there's so many things that the women think about when going through this. And I know for me, I was just like, I think it's the right thing. I'm single. What am I going to look like? What am I going to feel like? And I'm 6 months, just over my 6-month mark. And, I'm really thankful I did it. But when I watch you and I hear your story, I was literally getting chills, because I can see how genuine and sincerely you feel about it and how it impacted you. And I just feel like for any women out there or men who are watching this and you're thinking, I'm not sure if it is or if it isn't, the one thing that I can say from my experience, and I think you could back up, is you don't really have anything to lose. I feel better. You're going to be better off without them, regardless of whether it cures everything or it just helps some things. Would you agree?
Oh, 100%. So I'm going to explain to you the things that I did learn from getting them out. Okay. First of all, I was in such a place where I would do anything to regain my health. That meant changing me physically. And that's really scary for especially women, I believe, where we want to look nice. We want to feel beautiful. The whole reason why I got implants is so I could feel beautiful and sexy in the bedroom. Not necessarily for anybody else, but just for my lifetime partner, my husband, who we had been at that point married for like 23 years. I just wanted to spice things up and feel sexy and be in a swimsuit and like be voluptuous, feel more feminine. So I needed to learn how to dig deep to feel feminine and beautiful, regardless of what these looked like. And that is a beautiful lesson to say, can I love myself regardless? Can I feel beautiful and sexy and feminine without the worldly view of what breasts should look like. And I have to tell you, when they were taken out, and the first time I revealed them, I looked at them and went, it was like an old friend coming back. And go,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I don't know if you felt this.
Oh, I do. No, I do know what you mean. I was just like, I missed these. These feel real. They're soft. Like I can breathe. You can squeeze them. Like before, it's just kind of like these hard
I know.
objects, and you're just like, yeah.
Exactly. And so, I mean, you know, a year later, I think they're beautiful. I watch them, because the capsule is scraped, you know, out of you, if you're doing it right. And please, please, sisters, if you are considering doing this, do not go to just any plastic surgeon. Don't just get them out. Do it right. Get the capsule out. Do full capsulectomy. Do en bloc if you can. Dr. Self, the one that performed my surgery, wouldn't promise en bloc. And I think he's smart to do that because if they're broken in pieces, you know, or there's something wrong with it, he may not be able to get them out in one piece, but he'll do his best. Mine happened to be able to be taken out in one piece. But I still have like a concave right here, right at the top of my breasts. And they are a little saggy, but here's the deal. I mean, I'm 50 years old and I've had I breastfed 4 babies and had 5 pregnancies, and they look the way they're supposed to look. Mm-hmm. And one of the things Dr. Self encouraged me to consider was not to do a lift at the same time as my explant, because I was so sick that he felt that would put additional stress and strain on my body, which again says volumes for him, because he could have made more money had he done the lift, but he chose not to go that route. And I'm so grateful. I don't need that lift. I actually think they look perfect. And so I was able to learn how to just love myself for who I was. Here's the other thing. There's also this process of getting rid of some old garbage and taking it out to the dump. I had some old trauma that I needed to deal with and take out. And here is the truth. If you don't emotionally process things, ladies, you will physically feel them. And that is the honest truth. So sometimes it's looking the monster in the eye and saying, okay, it's time to deal with this stuff I never wanted to deal with. It was too scary. So again, it was a beautiful opportunity for me to detox from not just things physically, but emotionally, spiritually, mentally. It was a complete transformation. I often feel like my foundation was so unstable that God had to dismantle it. He had to say, okay, we're starting over here because your foundation is built on sand. And so we've got to completely break you down. We'll restructure it. You're going to be okay. You'll live through it. It's going to be hard though. And so this isn't just about the explant, Brandy.
Oh, no.
It's not just about getting the implants out. It's not, it is complete transformation.
I know for myself, Wendy, and probably for you, I feel the most authentic and genuine I've ever felt. I feel the most happy I've ever felt in the middle of this pandemic in 2020. It's been one of the best and worst years of my life. But as an individual, as a woman, I feel authentic. I feel whole. I feel complete. I know who I am. I know who I'm not. And the whole time I had my implants, there was a little part of me that said, you're being fake. Mm-hmm. And again, I'm not judging anybody. This is what I had in my mind is, you know, I always said, I want to be authentic and show up and live my best life, but, let me fix this. And there's nothing wrong. I still fix my hair. I still put on makeup. I still think that we have the ability to do whatever we want to do. But for me personally, the clarity that has come with getting those out of my body and just my overall self-love has gone through the roof. And I see it with you too. I mean, I've seen some of your photo shoots. I see your glow. you look great. That doesn't mean it's been an easy road though.
Oh, heavens no. In fact, I really want to go into that because I don't want to make this look like a bed of roses, okay?
Yeah.
Because this last year was not a bed of roses. And, but before I go into that, I do want you to know, Brandy, I think the greatest gift that I've received from this is I have absolutely fallen head over heels in love with myself. With no changes. And I want you to know I am a hot mess most days. Okay. So it's not because I think I've arrived anywhere, because I haven't arrived anywhere. There's no there to get to. It's a journey, but I've fallen in love with me and the process of the journey. Right. And that is the greatest gift that this has ever given to me through this process. But I want you to know this surgery was hard on my body. I was already so sick, and it is a 3.5, 4-hour surgery if it's done right.
Right.
And the insides of me was scraped, okay, so that the capsule could be taken out, which was necessary for me to heal and for the poison to be taken out of me, because that's literally what was happening is I was being poisoned, okay? I was being poisoned and it was leaching into my system, causing all of those systems to not function any longer. I believe that the liver and the kidney are the first ones to really be impacted, and they do their job beautifully, but at some point they can't do it anymore. And then your lymphatic system gets involved, and then your nervous system gets involved. And, everything is integrated. So one system impacts another system, which impacts another system. So it took me a minute for my body to get regulated right after the surgery. I also don't fare well with anesthesia. So it takes my system a while to get anesthesia out. It causes a very heavy, dark depression for me. So I had to really just allow that to get out of my system. I had some wise women that said, make sure you get a binder, some sort of binder that attaches to those heavy metals and helps them take them out of your system so that you can do this a little easier. So for me, that looked like zeolite. For other people, it's pectin. There's clay, there's charcoal. Something I would encourage you, those that are getting an explant, something to allow that to leave your body. Work with your doctor.
Can I just say one thing that we're covering a lot about her journey, but we have done a lot of podcasts. So if you're interested in figuring out what should I be doing, ways to detax and helpful things, go through our playlist or go through our podcast. And we're on YouTube and we're on all the podcast formats. So look through the past stuff so that you can see what we're talking about. I know when we say like capsulectomy, end block, these were foreign languages to me when we're talking about detoxing, again, foreign concepts. So go through some of our past stuff if you want additional information on that, or you can go to our social media channels on Facebook or Instagram too.
I agree. And so really going forward, it was, my body needed to start to be better with, I had serious chronic fatigue as my body was really, really trying to repair and replenish. And I learned how to be very, very patient with myself and take naps when I needed to. Exercise was really challenging for me for the first 6 months. Now I'm exercising beautifully. I exercise every single day, but I also listen to my body. It's not like the crazy CrossFit workout still, not doing that yet. I'm doing things that my body responds well to. Light weights, yoga, paddle boarding, running somewhat. Sometimes my body doesn't like running still. So
my body never likes running, Wendy. It didn't matter when it was.
Exactly. So I just wanted to make sure that this has been another part of the process, is working with my body, finding out what it needs, learning that I was kind of going off the deep end with so many supplements. And finally, when I kind of cleared the supplements out of my system, because that was one more thing for my body to work with, and I wasn't trusting that my body could just do this, I literally started to turn a corner. Again, Last week, we did a beautiful interview with Dr. Erin Schneider. We talk about detoxification and gut health and detoxification, or I already said detoxification, and fasting. So that was part of my journey. And, but honestly, as of today, I have no inflammation. I have gut issues that are really 9 out of 10 times being addressed. I still have days, I still have moments. I'm not 100% with my gut yet. My mental health is fantastic. My mental clarity is fantastic. My energy, I'm still working on. Most of the time, my energy is really nice and consistent during the day, but there are days where I'm still chronically fatigued, and I'm okay with that because, again, it's part of the process. But I have to say that I am healthier overall than I ever have been in my entire life. And for that, you saw how emotional I got. The gratitude is so strong, and that I want to shout from the rooftops. These women that are laying in bed and crying themselves to sleep because they don't know what's going on, and they want to live a different, better life, but they don't understand how, and they don't know what is going on. And this message is for them. This message is to plant that seed of hope in your heart and your mind, that it can be different, that you can reclaim your health. I promise you, sisters, it is done if you will ask the questions and get those answers and and trust your gut.
Yeah.
You can reclaim your health.
I think one of the things too that has been so vital for me is, again, seeing the strong women go forward and talk about it, because I think I'm pretty savvy. And up until a year ago, I had never heard of breast implant illness. I mean, I just blocked it out. I never really looked at it. Since knowing what I know, going through, watching your journey, Leslie's journey, my own journey, I've shared things. And every time somebody has an unexplained illness, I say, hey, do you have implants?
Yeah.
Maybe it's something to think about. And again, while it's not the cure-all and some women just absolutely don't want to hear it, I think it's important that they at least know about it. And that's something that we can do. I don't know what's going on with you, but do you have implants? A lot of women are still thinking about getting them. And the key, like you said, is to learn to love yourself. Because I can tell you this much: if you don't love who you are now, you're not going to love who you are with them or without them.
Yeah.
Because happiness isn't a thing. It's in here. And so learning to love yourself would be probably the most important thing. And then moving forward.
Amen to that, Brandy. Amen. So I truly, this whole podcast, the episode today and every other one that we've done out of a labor of love, is to reach that one woman who can't show up in her highest and best until she can be healthy and has lost hope and doesn't know where to turn. This is for her. This is my gift, and my heart is to share it with her and let her know that she can live again.
And I love that you're doing that. I know just for myself, last night I had a girl from my neighborhood message me and say, I saw your guys' first podcast with the killer boobies. I listened to it. I watched it. I'm explanting next week, and I want to say thank you. She's a mom. She's got a lot of kids. And, you know, most of them, we don't even know most of the women who have them because it's not something we advertise. But I think being courageous, if you have any unexplained health issues, going through the journey, it's not a walk in the park. But at the end of the day, Wendy, would you do it again? Is it worth it? What advice do you have for others before we wrap?
100%. Would I do it again? Oh my goodness. Yes. Do I ever want to go through 2018 and 2019 again? I'm hoping that isn't required of me because it was incredibly challenging.
You picked 2020 over those years?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Most people can't.
It's actually been a great year for me. I'm like, yes, there's the unknown, the worry, the craziness, the twists and the turns, but overall 2020 has been a phenomenal year for me. Yes, I would absolutely encourage women to get out there and at least consider this and listen to that intuitiveness that we all were born with. Listen to your gut, listen to your heart, get out of the head. Okay. Because the head can analyze things, but it doesn't make the best decisions. And my advice is just to know that this journey that you're in right now is exactly meant for you, whether it's challenging or you're in a joyful part of your life. Every single opportunity is for you, not against you. And as you can learn about that moment and enjoy the moment that you're in, you're going to start to unfold more and more. And I think at the end of the day, what I want to see is, I believe women that know who they are, that love who they are, that embrace and feel healthy enough to express the highest and the best and their spiritual gifts with the world. I believe that that's what's going to change the world, is women and men. Please don't know that the men are included in this party. It just happens to be that implants are kind of a feminine female thing. But
there's a lot of husbands who are watching their wives, mothers, daughters, sisters struggle with this. And to them, it's like, okay, throw out a resource and potentially help them heal.
Yeah. But I think at the end of the day, it's giving back people their lives. And in essence, that person can step up and pay it forward. And that's what I have given that opportunity. God gave me the opportunity to reclaim my health. And now it's my turn to pay it forward. And that's what I'm doing. So that's my advice.
Wendy, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure to watch your progression, to see who you are and how you've taken that. And what's beautiful is you're sharing it with the world, and we're all donating our time and volunteering our services and our information, because it's up to each of us to not only take care of ourselves, but to take care of one another, especially those around us in times like this. It costs absolutely zero to be a decent human, to share information and to be kind. So thank you for sharing your story with us again.
Absolutely. Thank you, Brandy.
And we hope to catch you on the next edition of Killer Boobies. If you have a story you want to share, hit us up on social media. In the meantime, please continue following this journey and sharing it with your loved ones. Thanks for watching and listening.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening. Spread the word by subscribing, liking, and sharing the Killer Boobies podcast today. You could be the person who helps someone reverse their pain and suffering and reclaim their health today.